see what happens. All right. So my senior project is about the stars, constellations and stuff. My big question was, what do we know about the stars? So like, I not only asked myself that, but I wanted to ask you guys that. Like, who can name some like constellations?
Big Dipper.
Okay, you got the Big Dipper.
The Little Dipper.
Little Dipper. Anything else?
Orion's Belt.
It's good. Anybody else? Anything else?
Milky Way? I don't know. The
No.
Milky Way?
Well,
That's
it's
all I can
full of
think
stars. Can anybody name any specific stars though?
North Star.
I named one Sean once.
Oh. All right. Well, see, that's the issue. Is that not many people know about what's actually out there in space. They look up and they're like, "Oh, that's pretty," and they move on with their lives. But maybe that's not enough. All right. Okay. So why am I doing the stars? Well, it all began when I was really young. My older brother and I, we used to live out in the country, and you could see the stars every night. You see like blue and purple everywhere. It's beautiful. So every night we'd go and look out at the stars, and every morning we'd go out and wait for the bus, and we would sit there and you'd still see the stars because it was dark. And he would always point out Orion's Belt. Does anybody know what Orion's Belt looks like? It's the 3 stars. Yep. And so that's like the first constellation I ever learned. So that's kind of why I wanted to do this. I wanted to share my experience with you guys. Right? So some important moments in my research and in my making of my senior project were, well, first off, there was really limited research. Not only do not many people, I guess, care about the stars, but they don't research them enough, or we don't have enough material on Earth to be able to see those stars. I mean, those are light years and light years away. So it's kind of hard to learn about something that far away. The second thing that I thought was really interesting was the Cosmos. It's this television series. It was originally made by Carl Sagan. He's a very, very renowned scientist. He died in December of '96, 20th, I think. And then his predecessor, right, yeah, was Neil deGrasse Tyson. And so he took over the Cosmos and he made those. And so I watched that series. It was unbelievable. It was incredible to watch. Another thing was the recording. When I didn't know how to get this out there, so I decided to do a recording of it. And so I had to learn a whole new process of how to use it. It was quite fun, I think. And finally, getting it to the public. I didn't know how I was going to get out there. So I had to learn all these different ways to get it out there, either through social media, bringing flash drives, just going places and be like, hey, you want to learn about stars? And like literally sit there and let them listen to it. It was really interesting. Okay. So why am I doing this? Why the stars? Other than just for my personal interest? Because this is our future. I don't know who's seen Interstellar. Yeah? Okay. Well, much of it is about, I'm not going to ruin it for you, but it's like Earth's dying, we need to go to some other planets, right? That's the main synopsis of the movie. Okay. So, we can't go anywhere if we don't know anything about it, right? So, it's like our future. And there's also one of the most growing fields that people don't know about. There's Mars missions going on. In 2030, we're sending people to Mars to live there and never come back. We have huge organizations through NASA and other things that we're just like sending people, and over 8 million people signed up, but they only chose 40 of those people. And those 40 people are chosen right now. And they're training in deserts. Very fun. Okay, so when I shared this with pre and post-college community, people that were going into this field and people that have already done in this field and gone out. Not a lot of like physicists, I don't know a lot of astrophysicists exactly, but I know a lot of scientists that are really, really smart and they know quite a few things about space, suns, stars, anything that has to do with space. And I didn't want to share it with younger communities because they were like, the presentation used a lot of bigger words that were like kind of hard to explain to someone who's younger. And I have a little preview of the beginning. Go ahead. Just hit the next one.
Oh.
Go.
The North Star, featuring Ursa Major and Minor. The stars, where brightness is measured from 32.6 light years away, are a way for us to tell the past, present, and the future. No, I'm not talking about horoscopes where they give vague worldly advice. I'm talking about how the stars show the time of the year, the future of our crops, along with many predictions in space. Throughout generations, there have always been astronomers who look up into the stars and tell stories of ancient in the sky. They look up and tell the hunters where the last hunted, or the gatherers where the best crops were to grow. When we look up into the stars at night, what do we see? We would see hues of purple, bright twinkling light scattered all around like someone took a toothbrush and spread the sky with its toothpaste. But what if we lived in a city, where the sky pollution is heavier and night is blacked out of the night, or making its ever-ending reach to this earth? But you can still see some of the closer stars and constellations. One of the most important of them all, Polaris, or more commonly known as the North Star. So let's go way back. When Polaris was not the North Star, the cycle of stars in the sky changes every so often, and the North Star changes cycles every 25,770 years, or so. At about 3,942 BCE until nearly 1793 BCE, the North Star was Thuban, a star in the Draco constellation. To put into perspective, Thuban was the North Star. The Great Pyramids of Egypt were being built. By 1900 BCE, Thuban was no longer considered a light movement, but had moved far off its course. Kohath had become the North Star. By the first millennium BCE, the North Sky was told to be void of all stars by a Greek navigator, Pytheas. Today, Polaris is high in the sky, a beacon for the north. You see, the North Star never rises or sets, but always stays right in the north, even during the day.
Right. So if you guys want to listen to that, I'm going to post that on my Facebook page, and I'm going to put that on Twitter, so you guys can click it, listen to it. It's about, I think, 7 minutes long. So it's full of information like that. It's really just like loading. All right. Oh, okay. The problems that I had with doing this. I missed 3 weeks of school for different things. I joined the Navy, so I was gone for a lot of like not the training, what's it called?
Maps.
Maps, thank you. And so I was gone for a few days of that, and I was sick. I only get sick once a year, and apparently it decided to be on, this time, so that was unfortunate. And then, so I asked Mr. Shinborn what I can do, and he said, oh, you can extend it and get it incomplete and extend it to this trimester. So that's, or this, yeah, right. So I extended it, and I was fortunate enough to get here, where I am. Other problems with the limited research, like I said earlier, it's just not many people know about the stars, and they're so hard to learn about something so far away. I mean, there's so many theories, but you can't put faith into a theory 100%. You can't really teach about theories and say that that's correct. We really don't know. So that's why it's a theory. So. All right, conclusion. Go ahead. Starting off. So I thought this was going to be 100% what I wanted to do. Wasn't. There was people who interested me with other things, and I got bored along the way. I was like dragging along, and I picked back up eventually. But initially, I was going to have like 3 presentations where I came and taught about Polaris, the North Star, and the Little Star, or the Polaris, the Big Dipper, Little Dipper. And I was going to have a speaker come in, or Skype, Neil deGrasse Tyson. I thought that was going to be covered. Obviously, that didn't happen. Go ahead. So, the research part of this was basically through the Cosmos videos, and there's a lot of blogs out there, and people like to say they know what they're talking about, but sometimes they really don't. They'll just say, oh yeah, Thuban is like the North Star right now. No, it's not. Thuban is, it's in the Draco constellation. It's the Draco the Dragon. It's really interesting. If you listen to the video, I talk about that some. And this is where I revamped my idea, my process. I was going to change this to just a podcast, an audio thing, instead of doing presentations. Okay? And finishing it off, I had enough time to do this presentation, to get it out to my friends, get it out to collegiate students, and I had a really fun time teaching about this. So, thank you. Any questions?
Part of Triton's rubric is the comprehension section, where we have to have 3 or 4 questions for him that he can answer.
So you said, it says the North Star changes every 25,000 some years or something like that?
Yeah.
So does that mean that it's like always moving? So wouldn't it like technically Polaris wouldn't be true north at a certain point?
Right now it's not true north. Right now it's off by like 0.0001% not north. So it's off a little bit. It'll be every 25,000 years it'll be Polaris again
Okay.
for a certain amount of time.
So what's your favorite constellation out of all of them?
Oh, there's a lot I like. I can always find the lady in the chair, the queen, easiest. It's just a W in the sky basically. It's really cool. It's kind of bright. Any other questions?
Yeah, how are you going to get your podcast out there, and how are you going to be able to share that with us so that we can see that you've done it?
I'm gonna post it on my Facebook page, like I said earlier, and on Twitter. I have an account. I have an email set up for this thing, and I was gonna make a Twitter account for it and put it out there and like let people see it. I have a Tumblr page that I was gonna put up on my Tumblr. Any other questions?
Okay, thank you.